Welcome to the George's FTTV YouTube channel. Today we discuss cash generators for 2024 and we are basically where the money's at. So I like the Jack Harlow song, what you're studying, education, that's where the money is. So I won't do that again, but yeah, where is the money at? Old saying goes, rookies dictate your structure. To an extent, I wouldn't say like use that as a blanket term, but obviously like you got your value premiums who influence what you can do where and stuff like that, but we'll talk about players probably under like 330, 320 and who's going to make us money. And you know, some of these players we want to make them to make quick cash as well so we can upgrade our team faster, because the game's only getting more fast paced with more trades. So yeah, with the 40 this year. So we'll go through that. This is my team at the moment. It's a disaster that I'm playing with it so much because I said I wouldn't and I am. But not too much has changed. I still got Sicily, Stewart, Young. Midfield still got Butters, Brayshaw, Crouch. Gorn, Grundy still got them. Still got McRae, Flanders. I think I've had all these players since day one except for McRae. I think I put McRae in shortly after it opened. But yeah, just not sure on the Bont and Dawson. Do I want to spend this much here? I'm not too sure. Ideally, no. And then I threw in Buderick in defense and took Chapman out. With the reports, Chapman's probably more wing, but we'll see that in preseason. But yeah, we'll get to Buderick soon. So did a bit of research on him. So basically going to clear my team in another tab. Where is that option again? I think go to trade. Clear team. Probably should clear it and not touch it for 5 weeks. But regardless, we'll go filter through every line and look at some value picks. Not like value premiums, but like real cheap guys that we can, you know, make us some money. So yeah, we'll see how we go. So starting defense, just scroll through, see what we find. I guess Winhager's one. I haven't seen much of Winhager, but for me, I'd like to see a clearly defined position. I've heard he's training in the midfield, but I would like some clarity and see it. But you know, down back, if he's back, there's Sinclair and Nas probably third behind them. And then in the midfield, you got Steele and Crouch, and then like who else? Dow, Ross. They can throw Sinclair in there. They can throw like a Philippe or Owens or all these guys in there. So I don't know where he's in the pecking order. Wherever he plays, he might be too far down. So he's just a watch for now, but not someone I am jumping out of my seat to pick. So see how he goes. I've heard McVie might have a role change, just something to keep an eye on, but not too sure. Goda could be playing halfback. I haven't really heard enough. Hasn't really shown enough either of accumulation. Mac Andrews playing down back, so it could be interesting. I think Buderick I'm more interested in. As you can see, a lot of these defenders for Gold Coast didn't really score much, and Weller as well was out for a while. Power's position's kind of unclear. Atkins' position sort of unclear if he's best 22, but it looks like Buderick could be the main distributor of halfback. And if you can get the main distributor of halfback for 300k and you have good junior scoring history, and I think he's coming off 2 ACLs as well, so he's actually going to get some proper fitness instead of having such a long time off. So there's definitely potential here. To be honest, I don't recall watching him play at all. I'm sure I've watched him, but I don't recall. So a bit silly to put in a player that you haven't really seen much, but yeah, there's a good article on him the other day. Dimmer said that he wants him to be the Jaden Short. First full preseason in ages. 77 average in 2 games, not too bad. Coming off double ACL. So we'll just check the kick-ins for Gold Coast. So played the last 2 games, played 4 VFL games. I think one of those VFL games just played in a half. So as you can see here, the kick-ins, that's Buderick, okay. 4 and 3 kick-ins, and then you look here, Rory Atkins was taking bulk kick-ins. Gee, would have been nice to, when we needed him in the buy, to do this, but that's whatever. So it looks like, is Power here? Power up the top, okay, so kind of lost. I can't remember if he was injured or not though. So we're kind of looking at who is going to take the role. Is Atkins and Power, are they going to play wing? Buderick's clearly playing down back, so we'll get a good read on that, but you know, kicking numbers are good. He's priced at, what's 300k? Like in the 50s somewhere, low 50s. So off the top of my head. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on Buderick. and whatnot. I haven't checked the TOG. It might be just worth checking the TOG as well. We'll have a quick suss. Should have been a bit more prepared. Oh, he's not on here because he was pre-listed. I couldn't find him. Whatever. We'll check that when it comes out. But anyway, yeah, Budrix is an interesting one. The main driver here is the roll. Looks like it's going to be very good, and we'll see how he goes over preseason. So yeah, he can definitely outdo this 50 price set. So he's in my team at the moment. Do you like that? Keep scrolling. Bramble can play halfback. He's at the Dogs. It's interesting. Keep scrolling. Like Ben Longs, no. Banks, I don't know, to be honest. Might have a good role though. Miller Bergman could play down back for North. Not a lot here. So Heath Chapman's interesting. There was, I think it's Nathan Schmock, I think that's how you say it. Good WA journalist. Was on the Traders podcast today and just saying that sounds like he's playing more of like a defensive wing role. Not exactly sure, but Aish is down back and Jordan Clark's been impressing down back. They also played Wagner back there, so maybe he can rotate a bit halfback with like Aish or something, but it does sound like he is being planned to use more on the wing. So that's not ideal. You can still score on the wing, but paying up for Wingman can be kind of painful. So we'll see how he goes. Not the worst pick. Still in consideration if the rookies look poor in defense. So yeah, I don't like that role. Excuse me. D'Ambrosio apparently playing wing again, similar boat to Chapman. Chapman's far more talented and far more has better attributes like better overhead intercepting and stuff like that, defensive capability. So if Massimo's playing on the wing like it sounds like, then won't be going there. But regardless, like could do worse. Trezise is another one for the Tigers, worth watching. Scored 93 in one game playing down back. VFL numbers from memory were not outstanding, so just worth watching. We'll get around 0 look at him, but you could be worse and go someone like him. As you can see, like there's decent money making it. You could spend nothing in defense and potentially have a fair bit of money to be made here. Jace Burgoyne playing wing apparently, just to watch I guess. Talented, not sure what happened last year. And then Dan Curtin's injured, so I'm going to take him out. So he has a sore knee, hasn't trained for a bit, so we'll see. Bailey McDonald could see a role down back. I've heard good things about him this preseason, but they are pretty stacked, the Hawks down back. Connor O'Sullivan, I'll just click and exit them at this point. Connor O'Sullivan, highly rated, I think 100 plus average in the under 18s, so worth keeping an eye on. O'Sheen Mullen. Geelong are just hopeless with reports, but yeah, worth watching him, I guess, see his progression. Was like a young prodigy. There was an article that compared him to like the Dacos of Gaelic football as a young prodigy, so worth watching. A lot of soft tissue problems, but keep an eye, I guess, worth watching for that 150 price. So yeah, you can see there's like a lot of potential here. Gibcus slowly working his way into it. If I have to cut Gibcus I don't want him on the field. So if I've got 150k on the bench and I have to cut him, like I'm fine with that. But do they play him as that third tall or do they play him as the key? We'll see. Adam Kennedy, I haven't really monitored. Tom Cleary's on a wing at the moment, so a bit of a role change there. Bit older. Best 22 is kind of iffy. Bodie Uland showed some scoring power, but like yeah, not sure how far he's come. Not proven best 22 just yet. Charlie Dean's another one. Zach Reed, I think will play. They highly rate him. And then it's just like Hoare and Caulfield. Leculier could even play. So yeah, Marty Hoare. I think the Giants defender's kind of hard to fit him in, I guess. They got Buckley and Taylor, so they might be happy with that. The interceptor, Himmelberg, so yeah, they've got a pretty rock solid defense. So yeah, Marty Hoare. If Marty Hoare's playing straight on the field, 120 average in the VFL, off 2 ACLs, only was delisted really because of injury. So back in the system now. Does he play round 1? I hope so. Sounds like they've tried McVie and Salem in different roles, whether that sticks or not, and even Rivers as well. So there might be room for him down back. But yeah, if he's named round 1, straight at D6 straight away. Not going to bench him at all. Should get a decent enough role and has scored well in the past as a SuperCoach option. Toby Pink sounds like he's behind a few, like a Dawson, and we got Combin and they got Core and stuff. So we'll see how that goes, but not convinced he plays round 1, and he's one where if he's named and there's better options, I'll just fade. And then Nick Caulfield, probably the last one. Bustlingers might be okay. So Caulfield's one where bench or field. I think not the worst field, but we have to see if he's actually any good or not, and we're not sure yet because it is sort of a worry where like Ross Lyon's happy to scrap him, top 10 pick. Not a good sign at all, but he's cheap, and new environment might help him. So I'm not sure anything else here. I guess Ari Schoenmaker has had some good things said on him, but yeah, not too sure. So Hardman as well. So that's for another day. So yeah, geez, there's a lot of like players I think that'll play. Like there was only a few years ago, might have been, was it last year or the year before, where we were worried that we'd get no defenders at all. I think it was 2 years ago when like Paddy McCartan and Hinge popped up at the last second. So now I just think there's a lot of potential everywhere. So yeah, if I guess another problem is you want Sanders and McKercher on the field in the midfield, and in the forward line you don't know who the hell to pay up for. So it's kind of hard to juggle this all up. Like I wish we had 4 forward slots and like 10 defender slots and whatnot, and more mid slots and stuff like that. So moving to the midfield, I'll throw Ollie Hollands in just because he's been pretty hyped up, and yeah, massive work rate, but might not get the inside time we want just yet. But yeah, I just thought I'd throw him in. I don't think there's a spot for Will Brodie. Paddy Dow, 300k, can probably average your 80 to 85, maybe like your 85 range. Is he best 22? Is the TOG going to go up? Remains to be seen. So we'll see how we go. MJ probably not going to get the CBA. He's just behind too many players at the moment. Young, Brayshaw, Sarong, Nat Fife, Erasmus Fighting, O'Meara. So see what happens there. Old Sheldrick is an interesting one. His points per minute is pretty nuts. Off the top of my head, 90 or 89 average in 4 games with terrible TOG and like 40% CBAs. Huge potential here. Unfortunately, they've recruited, or for Sheldrick's mid-time sake, they've recruited Adams and James Jordan. Still got Warner, still got Rowbottom, still got Parker, still got Gordon. Mills when he comes back, but probably won't matter. It'll be that far away. Mills return. So Matt Roberts as well. So what does the pecking order look like? We'll worry about that in round 0. But if the role looks good and the preseason looks really good, then I will not hesitate to jump on. But yeah, there's a lot of competition for spots, unfortunately, and hopefully he's used properly. I'd rather throw, like, the Adams selection was kind of weird. I know they needed help in the midfield. Like, towards the end of the year was an issue for them, but you have so many young, talented kids. I would probably just back your kids than play a 30-year-old past his prime Adams over the young talent that they have, like a Sheldrick or Roberts. But I guess the mature body in Adams and the experience can help there. Fletcher, does he get inside mid-time? We'll get to Fife, the forward line. I guess Elijah Hollands, 270k, might get a bit of inside time. Pretty bad that he was traded for 3rd rounder. Obviously, they knew about the cocaine issue. He might be suspended. I can't remember. So I think he is. So we'll just skip him. But yeah, an interesting one. Jared Lyons. Now, can they play Lyons and Dunkley in the same team? Probably not. I think they've just gone past Lyons, but he's played well in the finals or when he got a chance as a sub. There, I'm not sure on a few of these names. I guess Zach Jones, 250k. I guess the injury proneness is too much here. I guess another one that could, be fighting with Winhager and Dow for mid-time might be cooked, not sure. Neil Erasmus, 238k. It's not a bad price. There is talk on him wanting to play a bit forward and not wing. I guess he's probably just sick of rotating on a wing because if you're a midfielder, and there's people ahead of you, you just get thrown out of position, and he just might have found that his wing is not for him, which is fair enough. So he's tall, can take a good mark overhead, so maybe he's a threat, forward or centre, and can push up into the midfield a bit. I think you can do worse than Erasmus. Talent's there, and kicking's a bit of an issue. So look, he's one that I'll watch. So yeah, going through this list, there's actually a lot here that I don't mind, but yeah, you can see it's just like too far behind the pecking order to be a standout pick. Sam Berry's had good reports. Look, I know I'm Crow's tragic, but we'll see how he goes. But obviously he must be behind the main three in Crouch, Dawson and Laird, plus Pedler and Rochelle. I think will push for mid-time, maybe even Rankin. And then I think Saligo's settled on a wing, but he could see inside mid-time too. You got McKercher is just locked. No need to waste time talking about him. And Riley Sanders a lock as well. Huswaite has heard some good things read on him. Will Day's out early. I would love to see Connor McDonald get the mid-time. I saw it from the year one. They threw him in a few CBAs and he just kept getting the ball every time and just hasn't really seen the mid-time since. So I'd love to see Mac get the opportunity, and he seems like he's primed for it and he wants it. Apparently Huswaite's been okay though, so just one where how's he going to get a decent role? So not too sure yet. Who else we got here? Riley Rogers is injured right now, so skip him for now. Binns is another one. Big VFL numbers on the wing, I think. So Carlton's, they got the two Hollands boys. Who else on a wing? The Cottrell. Walsh and Chera can rotate there if they need to. If they really want to put Kennedy and Hewitt back to high midfield minutes. So he's one to look at. We'll just keep an eye on that. Ed Allen, I've heard decent things on. Jeremy Sharpsworth, I think he's fieldable. He's done 70 in the past. Let's have a look. Fremantle and Jeremy Sharp. I don't care about the man shake, bruv. So 65 in 2021. So this was my first year in fantasy, and I had him as a rookie, and he did really well. So you take out this game. This 27 is pretty ugly here, but you can see this. If you were to field 70, 75, 79, 50 something, 115, 96. If you fielded this, I guess 27, you'd be spewing, but if you fielded this for 8 rounds, even with the 27, I think you wouldn't be too upset given his price. So if he can repeat this, and yeah, apparently he's a bit older now too, so 51% owned. So sounds like he's going to play round 1. All the good reports, especially with the running. So he's one where I think I can field that. You got Chapman on the same role on the wing, but an extra 130k. Well, if I can shuffle things around and not have Chapman, I might as well just field Sharp. So for that price. So I'm open to. Do I have him on field? Yeah, I've got him on field at the moment. So look, you definitely you can throw him on the bench, but that's fieldable to me. 70 average if you can repeat that. I think it was 90 something in the VFL. Jai Clark, I think he was pick 7. Played in the last game, had heaps of tackles as a sub. So basement price. Does he play round 1? Look, Geelong are hopeless at preseason info for us, so we'll see that. Cooper Stevens is not best 22. I've heard Josh Sin playing off halfback. Somebody tweeted that today. So in the ones team, which was good. I can't remember who, but I'd give credit if I could remember right now, but it escapes me. So that's interesting. Bedendo's playing wing, and apparently he's been impressing. I was watching Inside the Kennel, which is a YouTube channel for the dogs. Pretty good. I think might be ex-players that run that. I'm not exactly sure, but they are quite excited for Bedendo on the wing this year. So it could be a bench option for us. Do I have him on the wing? No, I don't have him on the wing at the moment. I mean, on the bench. So worth watching Bedendo. I think Cooper Simpson have been talking him up. George Stevens might be I think he's sort of ready to go. Has the body for mid-time, big numbers, but again, Geelong are hopeless at giving us info. McAuliffe. I honestly had know nothing about this dude. Let's Google him. Drafts. I have heard that he's a good shot for round 1. 18 touches a game. What's it say? Force on the inside. There's plenty of grunt work analysis. Not much outside game. Okay. Size, power tackling. Tackling's good. Contested game's good. That's what we want to see. I'll read this another day. But one to watch as well. Clay Hall. I've heard some decent things on him. Apparently ready to go, big numbers. And I mean, what's the midfield rotation look like for West Coast? It's Yo if he stays fit, which probably might be like 10 games. Duggan, does he play mid or back? We'll see. They got Ginby. Reed's playing a bit halfback. I don't even know who their mids are. Elijah Hewitt's got like a toe problem, so worth watching if he gets a game or not. And they have no choice. They have to fast track their youth at this point. So worth watching. And now we'll look at the cheap ruckman. Samson would need a solo rucking role. Moyo as well would need. Moyo was not impressive at all with Witsour, but I think experience would do him some good. Toby Conway. Geelong supporters seem to like him, and they think that like he's like their future ruck. Very injury prone. How has he progressed? Is he ahead of Stanley? Again, like Geelong, I'm not going to waste my breath on Geelong, but not expecting massive output from him. Did he play VFL? Let's look it up. Why not? VFL. What is this man shake ad? I'm like skinny as hell. 3 games, okay. 2 games in the VFL, 3 games in the VFL. 66, 68, 89. Pretty trash. So not even close to Sweet's output. So bench only, probably. Sweet. Very confused what the number 1 ruck looks like at Port. He's in my R3 at the moment, but apparently he's been number 1 ruck, but Soldo's had a finger issue. So is that going to reverse? I'm not sure. I think Sweet was like 100 plus, 110 plus or something in the VFL. So yeah. McAndrew, well, they got Grundy, so dead pick. Vizentini, I think he's just their development guy, but I think they like him. Strawn, if Rob goes down, might play, but they also like Philthorpe in the ruck. Kruger, could he play with McStay out? I don't know. Hamish Free, I guess Cherry's got a face injury, he could play, I guess. I think he probably has to play. Him or CCJ have to play if Cherry gets injured, and I dare say with Cherry's injury history, that's a chance. Finbar, no, don't click that. No. Okay, Finbar. Mally. Apparently played a little bit of ruck and is like a good contested mark, but okay, let's check his numbers. Where are we at? Finbar. Fin double N. Finbar Mally. So obviously bench only, key forward, mature age. Yeah, like unfieldable. Not the worst numbers for key forward, but in the a bit of hit outs as well. This is rucking, so this is not rucking. So yeah, yeah, okay. That is like bench only if nothing else pops up. Is he like? Would you take him over a loophole, knowing that he's a reasonable chance to play? Maybe, although you could screw your loophole up. But we will have buy players early. All right, looking at the forward line, let's just throw Logan McDonald in just for fun. Probably unpickable that price and key forward. I'm take him out, but should flourish without Buddy. What else we have? Tom Powers had some good reports on him. Again, it's I guess Cunnington's out and maybe Simkin rotates elsewhere, not to other roles. not too sure, like wing half forward and a bit of inside too. So that's worth noting for Power. Don't know what happened. First year it looked really promising. Second year groin issues. Third year limited preseason. Are we fourth year or fifth? Now I can't remember. Honestly, don't remember. So yeah, don't know what's happened, but like there's something there. Just like he needs to be unlocked. So we'll see how he goes. Again, like last year we kind of thought it might happen, but it didn't. So we'll see how he goes. I suppose LDU 1, Wardlaw probably 2 for CBAs. Sheasel, Phillips. Fingers crossed Lazaro. Pedler should get more mid-time. Apparently he's like might go to another level this year. 12 disposals a game as a half forward. Like he's kicked a lot of goals, but for half forward, 12 touches a game is not encouraging for fantasy output. So I don't see it with Pedler, but maybe in the future, just not yet. What else do we have? Wingard's pretty cheap, but yeah, done as a pick. Tom Lynch I'm seeing a fair bit of, and I will happily pass on that. Can't stand owning key forwards, especially on the field. I guess some can be good, especially this year. We could see like a Kurno or Jazza be a premium. But very, very limited preparation. Could be managed a bit. An interesting one, but yeah, I think the preseason's just been too limited to go there, in my opinion. And I think if he was low 200s, I'd more than happily pick him. I think he's just 50, 60k too expensive. So, look, he'll make money, but I don't know. I think a bit in that 5 and in 25% of teams. So if you know this, if you know me, like I'm pretty done with like old injury prone players. But when I watch Fife, I can't help but think that signing him was a big mistake for Fremantle. They've got Young, they've got 3 main mids now, and you're just robbing time of Erasmus and Johnson at this point. So looks very slow, inconsistent, injury prone. I guess it's weird because they can't really use him elsewhere. If I was JL, I would have the balls to put him in the waffle or use him as sub. So sub risk as well. That being said, I haven't done the maths. I'll do it another day. But there's, I think he scored like not the worst, like low 80s, high 70s in games above 40% CBAs. Not terrible. So look, I'm gonna pass. But yeah, good luck if you're picking that. It could work. James Jordan. Apparently they like him a lot. Could play wing. Second in the time trial. What's his role? It could be like he averaged 126 fantasy in the VFL, which is nuts. Not quite Flanders numbers, but still pretty nuts. So a lot of potential here. The problem is like, what is the role? So this is like a waste of time talking about it until we see round 0. But we saw like Flanders, even him in the wrong role doesn't score. So we'll see. Harms, like, is he washed? Like, how is he getting mid-time? If he gets mid-time over McRae, then I just sack Bever on the spot, honestly. But yeah, Elijah Hewitt's injured. Dev's got some wrist complications, so unfortunately it doesn't look good for him. CCJ could be interesting if something happens to Cherry and he has to ruck. From when I've seen him ruck, I've not been impressed at all. He looks like a leading key forward to me, but I don't know. This hasn't really worked for North just yet. I like Sardis. So Zach Merritt was interviewed pre-Christmas or like around that time, and they asked him, you know, who's the player to watch at Essendon. And Zach Merritt knows ball. He says Elijah Sardis. So I'm going to remember that and watch him carefully over the preseason. From what I've read, he's had kicking issues. He's been doing extras with his kicking. Spent a bit of time training on the wing, which is not great. They got Parrish, Hobbs, Merritt, Perkins. I'm sure they've got somebody else that I'm forgetting, but yeah, it sounds like Brad Scott overruled Dodoro and picked Sardis over Philippou. I think that's sort of what they were getting at. Like they wanted different players there. And yeah, watching AFL Draft Experts video, he said that in one of the leagues he averaged 35 touches, so he can seriously rack the ball up, no problem. have to remember as well, like this 55 average, one might have been a sub, I can't remember, but he was coming off a severely bad, like, broken leg. So he's actually going to have a full preseason this time around, and he can definitely make money. But it's just, are they going to throw him on the wing? Is his kicking going to kill his scoring? So we'll keep an eye on that. Jack Billings in my side. I think he plays round 1. I did hear that he played wing. We don't want that. We want half forward into the midfield. They have Hunter and Langdon on the wings. So the logic was he should be mid or half forward, mostly half forward. I did hear that Hunter also did not play when he played on the wing. So we'll see. I think in the forward line, even if he is wing, it's not ideal, but given the crap in the forward line and like I'm not really willing to pay up aside from McRae and Flanders at this point. It's something to watch. So we'll see. Georgiades coming off the ACL. It's interesting. Let's get rid of Sardis and Billings. Mead, I don't think, yeah, just behind 5 midfielders at this point. Or 4. 5, yeah, with Drew as well. Zane Dersma is a no for me. Too skinny, bad role. Could be good, but I don't want to pay up for that. I think he's just going to be up and down. Heard a bit of, like, Nick Watson as well could be up and down. With, like, Watson and Dersma, I'd probably just leave that to the draft people to make proper comment on that. I'm sure your AFL draft expert will do, like, a rookie video and he'll help us there, but I probably listen to him on that. But for me, yeah, I just see the role being bad and, you know, Watson, see how he goes at the level. I did watch him play Metro game and I did think he like barely touched the ball for a half. I mean, I think Metro got smashed pretty bad that game, but it can happen. So yeah, I don't feel confident paying this much for players in bad roles that are 18 years old. So we'll see. Not everyone can be Connor Rosie. Emmett, 81 average in 2 games. Okay, that's escaped me. Let's look at this. Hang on, it might be Waffle. Second. AFL. Remember, I don't think he scored that much from memory. Go Waffle. Why is the Manshake ad coming up, bro? What's his name? Tom Emmett. 61. How did he average 80? What's his role? Is he key forward? Goals. 6 goals, so forward. I don't know much here, to be honest. I don't like the role. No, don't. Okay, all good. Computer is struggling pretty hard. Need a new graphics card. Well, I guess we can watch him. Cumberland was good for a bit, but I don't know what's happened to him. Harvey Harrison, he played a bit. He could play again, not sure. Windsor, I haven't really done research on Windsor. I'm too scared to minimize at this point because the computer's going to die. Vantage is another one. Oh, I missed Lazaro. So Charlie Lazaro, he's been in my team for a while and reading good things on him. Some people think he's going to play round 1. I think he's been playing in the A team, bit of mid, bit of half forward. Really hard worker, good junior numbers. Yeah, should we risk it? Charlie Lazaro. So I think his numbers are pretty good, like 110 plus maybe. Basically like sub games here, but pretty good. Like 88, 130, 85, 110, 100, 137, 124. So there's like some good numbers here. A lot of sub games that you can see. If he does play, we just gotta hope he escapes the sub vest. But apparently he's like one of those really diligent, hardworking, gets the best out of himself player. Like limited skills maybe, which might hurt, but did play in the last round with decent CBAs last year. But that was with no LDU and yeah, Cunnington as well, who retired anyway. So yeah. Fantasia, if he plays round 1, could be interesting. I guess monitor the health of him. Caddy could play. I think he will play, but do you want to pay that much for a third tall or key forward? Not sure. Taberner, does he play ahead of Tracy? I'm guessing they're competing for a spot. It's worth watching. Finn McRae. think I never forget the first game I watched him play. I think he had it. Did he have 11 touches in a quarter or 9 touches in a quarter or something? Sounds like he's coming along pretty well. Not too sure like if he's AFL standard midfielder, because I think he's struggled in the past few years when he's been brought into the team, but hopefully he's ready now, but we'll see. But they're pumping his tyres up, so that's exciting. So keep your eye on Sonsi. He is suspended early, but he could play a bit. Apparently having a good preseason. Dempsey, I guess, could play. Geelong want to play youth. I'm not convinced Burgess plays. We'll see. I think Butts and Keane will be key defenders, and maybe Butts comes out for Curtin if he's fit. Oh, Darcy Wilson. It sounds like he's going to play round 1. They like him at the Saints, so chuck him on your bench. And I think he averaged 107 in the NAB League. What else do we have? I miss Cadman. Not important, but yeah, Cadman, apparently he's taken a step this year. Could be a bench guy, but obviously he scored horrible. Fullerton, I thought was a chance at playing given the disastrous forward line that they have, but they have Petty fully fit in the forward line. Looks like Brown and McDonald look pretty cooked, so Fullerton could have been that backup ruck. Apparently he's done a bad hammy, so I want to be. Josh Shackey, I had no idea he was still on the list. Braden George, I think, has another injury concern, but they trialled him off halfback, so he could be one. And Bauer could play. I think he looked pretty lively last year, but got injured. I think he did a hammy. Sam Darcy could play. How does he fit in though with all those tolls there? If they're going to use lob a bit in the ruck as well, which they're asking for. Sean Manor, I've heard nothing on Manor, but he's fieldable for sure. Well, you would hope so, given I think he averaged 110 in the VFL, so could roll through the midfield, play half forward, but just heard nothing on him. So, there's 1 or 2 Geelong reports out there, and haven't really heard him mentioned. So, hopefully that comes out in time. So where's the money at? Obviously, I can't fit in every player. I like the defense, Hoare and maybe Caulfield. Trezise could play halfback. Chapman could be good, Buderick could be good. Whereas the midfield, I don't see myself picking anyone here apart from McKercher and Sanders and maybe Sin and stuff like that on the bench. Sweet at R2's okay, and then I'm pretty suspect on these 200k guys like Lynch and Fife and James Jordan and Harms and stuff. I don't like those 4, to be honest. I like Billings, but we'll see more. I like Lazaro, but it's still pretty early. So where is the money at? I think it's defense. So yeah, a bit more clearer defined. We know what Chapman's role is going to be roughly, mostly wing. We know Buderick's going to be halfback. We know D'Ambrosi's going to be wing. I guess Trezise will watch. We know Berglund's going to be wing. We know Caulfield's going to be third tall if he's playing. We know Hoare's going to be interceptor if he's playing. So a bit more clearly defined and more likely best 22s here. So we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully that helped. But yeah, obviously still watch these guys and we'll see. Thanks for watching and we'll see you soon.